Namaste beta, I myself Jeevan Pratishtha Rajvanshi from the Department of Physiotherapy and Diagnostic. Today's topic is about blood supply of retina. In previous topic you have studied about the retina, what is retina and its 10 layers and its function and all that. Now we will study about the blood supply of retina. Outer full layer of the retina is supplied by choroidocapillaries and the inner 6 layer of gets its supply from central retinal artery, which is the branch of ophthalmic artery. The outer plexiform layer gets partly by both the above arteries. The fovea is avascular and is mainly supplied by the choriocapillaries. The inner portion of the retina is perfused by branches of central retinal artery. In 30% of the eye, a cilioretinal artery branching from the ciliary circulation supplies this part of the inner retina, mainly the macula region. The retinal blood vessels maintain the inner blood retinal barrier. This physiological barrier is due to single layer of non-fenestrated endothelium cells whose tight junctions are impervious to tracer substances such as fluorescent. Now the retinal blood supply lack an internal elastic lamina and a continuous layer of smooth muscle cells. The retinal arteries are end arteries and have no anastomosis. The only place where the retinal system is in the neighborhood of the lamina fibrosa. The veins of the retina unite to form central retinal vein at the disc, which allows the corresponding artery. The terminal fundus arterioles bend sharply and tip almost vertically into the retina. In most of the external fundus, two retinal capillaries networks are superficial and a deep. In parafoveal zone, it is well developed and is 3 layer. Blood retinal barrier. What is blood retinal barrier? Formed by the endothelial cells that are closely bound together about the lumen by intercellular junction of zonule occludin type. These junctions normally prevent the free flow of fluids and solutes. 1:1 ratio of pericytes and basement of membrane cells is normal. And this all is about the blood supply of retina. And if you are having any query, then comment in comment box. Namaste beta, thank you. Namaste beta, I myself Jeevan Pratishtha Rajvanshi from the Department of Faculty of Physiotherapy and Diagnostic. I am an assistant professor over here. Today's topic is about the retina. I hope the previous topics you all have understood very well, and today we will discuss about the retina. What is retina? Retina is a thin semi-transparent multi-layered sheet of neural tissue that lines the inner aspect of the posterior 2/3 of the wall of the globe. It is the thin delicate layer of nervous tissue. Its surface area is 266 mm square. It extends from optic disc to the ora serrata. And what is the visible landmarks of human retina? It is the optic disc, retinal blood vessels, area centralizes with fovea and fovula, peripheral retina and ora serrata, thickest near the optic disc and thin towards the peripheral. Optic disc, what is optic disc? It is a circular or slightly oval approximately 1.5 mm. In the central contains a depression known as the physiological curve. Area centralis is a demarked approximate by upper and lower arcuate and temporal retinal vessel, and it corresponds to approximate 15 degree of the visual field and adopted for accurate diurnal vision and color vision, dim vision and color vision. It is divisible into fovea and fovea. Then what is fovea? Center of area centralis 4 mm temporal to the central of the optic disc. And what is in this layer? There are no rods. Cones are larger and amended, and its central part consists of cones and their nuclei covered by a thin internal limiting membrane. All other layers are absent in this region. In the center of the fovea there is any depression known as umbo. It corresponds to foveal reflex. Peripheral retina, there are 4 regions in the peripheral retina. That is, the first one is the near periphery, circumscribed region of about 1.5 mm around the area centralis. Mid periphery occupies 3 mm wide zone around the near periphery. Far periphery extends from the optic disc 9 to 10 mm on the temporal side and 16 mm on the nasal side in the horizontal meridian. Ora serrata, peripheral margin of the retina, which consists of dentate fringes. The retina ends here. The ciliary body starts here. Sensory retina is firmly attached to vitreous and RPE servations and are less developed temporally, where cystic degeneration is most common. Ora serrata marks the transition between the attenuated retina and inner column non-pigmented cells of pars Silenian S retina. The RPE continues anteriorly as the outer cuboidal cell layer of the ciliary body. And then microscopic structures are, it consists of 10 layers. First one is the retinal pigmented epithelium, layer of rod and cones, external limiting membrane, outer nuclear layer, outer plexiform layer, inner nuclear layer, inner plexiform layer, ganglion cell layer, nerve fiber layer, and internal limiting membrane. Then we should study about all the layers, which one is the first layer and which one is the last layer. First layer is the external limiting pigmented epithelium, okay, and then the rod and cones, where the cones are responsible for the color vision and the bright vision. Fovea is a place where the it is the brightest place of the retina of the eye. And what are Muller cell? Muller cells are the nucleus and the cell bodies are which in the inner nuclear layer. They provide structural support and contribute to metabolism to the sensory retina. Now we should study about the thickness of nerve fiber layer at the disc. It is about most medial quadrant, upper temporal and lower temporal quadrant. And that's all. And now we will study about the blood supply of retina in the next lecture. Thank you, beta. Namaste beta, I myself JVM Pratishtha Rajvanshi from the Department of Optometry, and today's topic is about corneal transparency. What you understand? Have you revised the previous topic, that is cornea? If you have understand that topic, then only you will be able to understand this topic, transparency. What you mean by transparency in your general lifestyle? Transparency means the transparent, by which we can see the object which is in front of that object. Okay, transparency is a quality or state of transmitting light without appreciable scattering, so that bodies lying beyond or entirely visible. The cornea is an acute layered composite material with a structure ideally suited to its function as the transparent window in the tufted outer tunic of the eyeball through which the outside world is viewed. The cornea is a transparent avascular tissue with a smooth outer convex surface and concave inner surface which resembles a small watch glass. A cornea is a transparent avascular tissue and it looks like a watch glass. Small watch glass forms anterior 1/6 of the fibrous coat of the eye. Corneal dimensions, this you have studied about in the previous lecture of cornea. What are the functions of cornea? Have you read about the cornea's optical power? It occupies 70% of the optical power, that is the total refractive power of the eye is 60 diopter and it occupies 40 to 45 diopter. Okay, barriers. Cornea provide a protective interference with the outer environment and also contain intraocular pressure. About layers, have you studied about all the layers of the cornea? Then you should study about, which layer does not regenerate if once it is collapsed, that is the Bowman's layer, that is the second layer, and which is the thickest layer, that is stroma. Stroma is the thickest layer and descendant layer is the thinnest layer. Okay, what is the corneal epithelium? Epithelium cells are closely packed uniformly and regularity in the arrangements. What is tear film? Tear film keeps the surface of the cornea smooth and provide the quality to the optical surface. And all the stroma are arranged in a manner that they are closely packed. And interference is a phenomena by the virtue of which there is a modification in the distribution of energy due to superimposition of two or more waves. Principle of superimposition states that whenever two or more set of waves passes through and across one another in the same medium, they behave independent to each other and net displacement of the particle at any instant is equal to the algebraic sum of the individual displacements due to all the waves. Okay, have you understand the interference findings? And what is endothelium? Endothelium is a transparent because it is single layer, homogeneous and closely packed layer. Corneal vascularization, except for capillaries placidae of limbus, normal cornea is avascular. Corneal avascularity factors are not known when vessels present are due to corneal pathology, vascularization, loss of transparency. ठीक है। जब वस्कुलर वेसल्स डेवलप हो जाएंगी तो कॉर्नियल ट्रांसप्लांट कैसे रहेगा, वो ट्रांसप्लांट नहीं होगा। ठीक है। ब्लड वेसल्स कैन नॉट इन्वेड नॉर्मल कॉर्निया, लूजिंग ऑफ कॉम्पैक्टनेस ऑफ कॉर्नियल टिश्यू ड्यू टू इडिमा इज अ मस्ट फॉर neovascularization. And chemical theory role of vasoinhibitor is that it can sulfate ester of hydrochloric acid. And what are the physical factors of cornea? That is the corneal hydration. Normal cornea maintains itself in a state of relative dehydration, and which is essential for corneal transparency. Okay. And now what are the stromal swelling pressure exerted by the glycosaminoglycans GAGs of the corneal stroma, which act like a sponge. And the transparency, what is corneal thickness is increased and transparency decreased when there is endothelium damage, and to less extent when epithelium is damaged. If the endothelium is damaged, then the transparency decreased day by day, and when the IOP speeds up and become positive corneal edema. And corneal swellings also decrease the corneal transparency. That's all about the corneal transparency. And if you have any query, then comment in the comment box. Namaste beta. Thank you so much.